So, good morning, or should I say good evening to the other side of the world. It's me, the Lock Probster, the I'm in love of LA, bring you the much awaited vlog. Yes, the vlog that I promised, especially after I made that bombshell announcement from my last video. And yes, everyone seems to be bashing me or hating me that I didn't give that much details uh, immediately. Well, one of all, I needed to reconfirm my facts. And two, I want to make sure all my ducks are in a row before I start shooting at it. Okay, so, and thank you those who waited, because I have 4 words for it regarding that. Is patience is a virtue. Please practice that. Okay, so here we go. So before I actually start on the actual details, uh, I'm gonna show you an article. I'm sure Emin loves, some Emin loves, I'm sure a lot of them have seen this article regarding the MNL48. Yeah, so let me just show you right there. So yeah, the sorry state of MNL48 girls. Okay, the true facts about Idorus. Okay, so it's written by no name given, only initials EOF at the end of this article. And this was not published widely in the mainstream media, newspapers, main websites, news websites like that. It was only published in a very website which is more like Writer Creative, in which you just type in an article and submit it. Okay, so this was not widely spread, and I thought so too. And a lot of us, I guess including me, kind of like, I mean, I've read it, but I didn't really think much of it. Okay, so now before I go into details, I'm going to be reading a section of this article. So if you want to, for those who have not read this article, I'm going to put a description below so you can click on it and read the rest of it yourselves. So once again, this article was published in the website medium.com, which is a writer creative website in which you can write any stories you deem relevant and get published here. Okay, so it wasn't really widely released to the newspapers and the news outlets, so not everyone knows about this article, and if they did know, they would really just brush it off. Okay, I mean, we've heard of articles similar to this, especially regarding the 48 group, especially AKB48, where I heard that they say it's like a sweatshop or a slave driver, anything like that. So we tend to brush it up because the girls in that group seem to be okay with it. Okay, but then that's Japan. Okay, so MNL, based in the Philippines, should be following at least Philippine law. Okay, so I'm going to read part of the article, and the subject is still no contract. Okay, so here goes. The duties performed by MNL48 members include, but are not limited to: 1. MNL48 theater performances. 2. Training. 3. Participation in producing MNL48 content. 4. Promotion of MNL48 content. 5. Participation in producing MNL48 merchandise. 6. Promotion of MNL48 merchandise. 7. Guest appearances. 8. Maintenance of their individual official MNL48 social media accounts. Okay. For all these, the girls do not even enjoy the security of a proper working contract. This has allowed the management to wield unreasonable leverage over them. Undefined rights and responsibilities leave them without the ability to contest rules and memos. Okay, where's that part? Where's that? Memos which are continuously handed down by management for absolute compliance. The only compensation they get is a monthly allowance that is set at a uniform rate of 15,000 pesos. Senbatsu members, which have to deal with higher expectations and heavier workloads as the promotional lineup, get the same compensation as the Kenkyusei, which are not recognized as official members. It is worth noting that there were either reports about preferential treatment for the Kenkyusei, some of which are suspected to be in-house talents of certain influential personalities in the higher echelons. Generally, allowances are benefits, whether monetary or non-monetary, that are provided over and above salary compensation. But like the contract, where is it? But like the contract itself, details about the most basic compensation for the work done by the girls are yet to be heard of. The allowance amount itself was dictated by the management. There were no negotiations. The girls, together with their parents, hold no bargaining power and risk their journeys getting cut short should they make demands. I'd like to repeat that. They risk their journeys getting cut short should they make demands. Just recently, some of the girls get heavily reprimanded by the management over their attendance in an unsanctioned idol event. Notwithstanding the absence of a working contract, I'll repeat that. Notwithstanding the absence of a working contract, these conditions taken together would be indicative of an employer-employee relationship. Yet the girls do not enjoy regular benefits like PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, and SSS, to name a few. There's also still no word about the promised Japan training for the Kami 7. Okay. I'm not sure if I should read this part. Oh, maybe I should, since it does involve our topic somewhat. Okay, the subject is Behind the Smiles. All these has left the girls horribly stressed and downright demoralized, with at least one more Senbatsu member contemplating withdrawal. Since the first general elections last April, MNL 48 has already lost 5 members, 2 of which were part of the original Kami 7. 4 of these left amidst reports of unfair treatment by the management, while citing personal reasons. One former Kenkyusei even allegedly lamented how it was a big mistake getting promoted as an official member, seeing the little compensation they get for all the effort they exert. Okay. Alright, I'm going to end it there. Okay, so that was part of the article, and it really involves what I'm about to say. Okay. Okay, one of more reasons, as I mentioned, getting my ducks in a row before I start shooting them down. I need to reconfirm some facts and sources. And on that side, due to legal matters, I could only say certain words for this video. Okay. But I'm going to give you some details, like imagine if you were that person. Okay, so here we go. So let's go with the contract. Okay, as you see, it mentioned there that they don't have a proper working contract. And one thing is, according to my reliable source, that the parents don't have a copy of that contract. Okay? Alright. So this reliable source says that let's see this. A certain parent decided to ask a copy of that contract. So they set up a meeting to at least, maybe not just a copy, but review the contract to see if there were they violated any part of it. Because, of course, a parent is concerned for their well-being, especially under the care of such management. Okay, now imagine that parent had to travel a long way from the province just to go to this meeting, which has already been set up. Now imagine getting a text message halfway on your journey stating that the meeting is cancelled. Just that, the meeting is cancelled. Okay, these parents may not be well off, but just traveling back and forth from Manila to the province takes up time and money. Okay, and to just send them a text message when it's already been agreed on for the meeting and then canceling it does raise eyebrows. Okay, so according to a reliable source, they set up another meeting, okay, regarding the contract. Okay, but before the parent goes to said meeting, they want confirmation from the other party's lawyer that they will be definitely attending this meeting, so to make sure that this meeting will not be canceled. They want something in paper or in writing to make sure that they cannot cancel this meeting, that all parties involved will indeed come to this meeting. Okay, that confirmation never arrives. Okay, so let's say this happened on a Wednesday. All right, the meeting was supposed to happen on a Wednesday. Okay, so, and their daughter, who is part of the group, suddenly gets this paperwork stating that she has committed these violations within the group, okay, and therefore is subject for non-renewal of contract. Okay, basically they're making this girl into a malcontent. Okay, so I mean if she did commit violations, or at least one violation, she would at least get a warning, then a second warning, and then the punishment. But from what my reliable source says, these violations seems to have come all at once, and then there seems to be a decision not to renew the contract of their daughter for the second year. Okay, so usually regarding these violation things, I know if you've worked in the workplace, you're asked to sign it to confirm that you actually did these violations. Okay, so my reliable source says the parent of this girl, the parent advised their daughter, not to sign anything. Okay, regarding this, because this seems to be coming all at once, especially when the parents are asking the management for the original contract. Okay, so I mentioned this all happened on a Wednesday. By Thursday, this girl is gone from the group. Yeah, basically removed. Okay, okay, because she did not sign the papers, all that. Okay, so according to my reliable source, this is obviously a form of retaliation against the parents of this girl because of their constant asking for a meeting regarding the contents of the contract, which they don't have a copy of. Okay, if this girl's parents don't have a copy of this contract, do you think all the other parents of the girls of this group do? Think about it. Okay, now my reliable source mentions that other parents have also been complaining among themselves regarding the management of their daughters. However, because of this incident, they seem to be afraid for fear of retaliation from the management. Because if it could happen to this couple's daughter, it could also happen to them. Okay, so now, as I mentioned, due to legal matters on the other side, especially on the girl's side, I could only tell you it in this way. Okay, so I'm sure you get the gist of it, what's going on. Okay, I wish I could add a little bit more, but then I might be stepping beyond the legal bounds of what I'm allowed to say, because you know I really want them to know, to what's that word, to for their case against the other party to move forward. Okay, so this is as much as I could give you guys. So just imagine it yourselves, them putting the names that you know what I'm talking about in this scenario. Okay, so yeah. So one other note I'd like to give here is, I mean, we as fans of the group, I mean, we could shout out to the moon till our voices are hoarse, but it won't really be enough. I mean, we tried, especially before the days of the second general election, because we heard of the unfairness of it. What change needs to be done is by the parents of these girls, because I mean, they're being unfairly treated, especially regarding what's the content of the contract. Okay, and the amount seems to be not enough, because I've been hearing some of the girls, especially during their lives, saying, "Oh, I don't have money, wala akong pera," ganyan. And I mean, as a matter of fact, since these girls have been the one working their asses off for this company, I mean, especially during the second general election, when a lot of album CDs got sold there, and I mean, I'm sure it must have created millions of profit through that. Don't you think that the girl should be rightly compensated for it? Another thing, during that election, we never saw the results, the actual number of how many votes, or actually for each girl I mean, it's not like the first general election where we actually saw numbers. We never saw numbers, so it is still fishy if that was the actual results. Because what a lot of us are thinking is that there might be these numbers could be manipulated. They want certain people in the lineup of the group. Oh yeah, and I mean, and all in all, the parents, not the management, should have leverage over this. Oh, especially over this situation, since it's their daughters who are working hard and they require proper compensation for their work. Basically, the contract that they signed is almost like, I guess I could compare it to slavery or indentured indentured servitude. Okay, yeah. So, uh, if from my reliable source is saying that the girl who was dismissed from this group is looking towards legal action, I mean, the other parents should look into legal action as well, because we need they need to know what is really said in that contract and what the proper compensation should be for their girls. I mean, in reality, they could remove their girls from the group, and not just one, maybe several of them be taken out of the group until HHE gives in to their demands, or at least does some negotiations regarding this or compromises. Because, as I mentioned, if it happened to her, it could happen to any of the girls. Well, I may just be blowing smoke here, but as my reliable source says, this needs to come out. And there you go. That's as much as I could give you. So it's really hard, because I mean, I could give you more, but I was advised I could only say it in this way. I hope it's enough. And I wish the girl and her parents the best of luck. Okay. I guess that's much more I could say about it now. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Good night.